Oh my God.
So I'm like, man, I'll take you in the back and make you cry, like make you scream, dude. Like, what are you talking about? But if I make it, we even. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I shoot. I make it. Boom. He shot. He missed. Bam. I said, so you got me 100. And he was like, bet. I'm like, all right. So I shot. I make it. He shot. He make it. So I'm like, you still owe me 100?
Yeah.
And so he like, no, we even. I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, dude, you owe me.
After Floyd, Mayweather recently spoke out and tried to call out Crawford for a fight. Terence Crawford fired back during a live interview. He said Floyd is chasing attention and would be an easy paycheck for him. Crawford said Floyd has no real money left and is trying to damage his biggest victory just to secure another large payout to support his expensive lifestyle. He also made it clear that he is not interested in easy money.
Opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But
Floyd, yeah, because
He also spoke about how hard Floyd is to like and said Floyd tried to take attention away from him after his huge win against Canelo. He explained that Floyd is not a good role model for boxers because his life outside the ring is not something young fighters should follow. After Terence Crawford's strong performance over the weekend, where he defeated Canelo Alvarez and became the only super middle...
This dude just come over there and like, bet 100. I'm like, what? He like, bet 100? Bet 100 on what? He like, you give me
the part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
What do you want?
He only posted his betting slip and showed the money he won after Crawford had already won the fight when he could have done that before the match. Later, when it was time for Floyd to call Crawford out, he returned to social media. Crawford then responded by saying Floyd was acting crazy and drunk.
how do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
Ilia Topuria could knock out Bud Crawford on first contact. Is there any truth to it? Why is it always the MMA guys gotta go box? It doesn't sell. James Toney and the UFC lost a whole bunch of money with it. If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia is our champion. After seeing Conor, who could not make an amateur Olympic team.
This took place after another moment on Saturday night during the fight. Topuria was unhappy when Crawford made his ring walk using the song Conchin del Mariachi from the movie Desperado. Topuria uses the same music when he walks into the cage. Even though Crawford, who is 37, did not agree with the comparison during the post-fight press conference, the UFC lightweight champion had a problem with it and responded on social media. He said Crawford called him drunk first and then listened to his music. He added that if Crawford wanted to respond on X, he should tap the post, and that Topuria would gladly show him how to dance to that mariachi in the ring anytime. He also mentioned Canelo and said he would deal with him after Crawford.
When I looked at it, he came out in the southpaw stance and he took Canelo's jab away from him. As you know, if you take a fighter's jab away from them, then it's hard for them to really land. You force them to use one shot, and he forced them to use his backhand, his rear hand. Crawford was ready for the loop in the right hands. Crawford was ready for the body shot.
The song out and performed tonight. I got Mexicans and Latinos on my side as well, so.
Did you know Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC?
You said what?
Ilia Topuria walks out to that song in the UFC.
Did he? Oh, good. Good for him.
More than laugh off the recent comments, as he also labeled him a clout chaser and said he is not on the level of Conor McGregor. Speaking on the Ariel Helwani show on Monday, Crawford said he believes the UFC fighter is only chasing attention and might even walk him to the ring just to be seen. He said that seems to be the only reason for the behavior and admitted he does not understand what the guy is thinking. Crawford added that the whole situation feels unclear to him and he sees no reason to respond further. He also said he has never actually watched Topuria fight and does not understand why the UFC champion did not mention wanting a fight when they met months ago at the UFC Performance Institute in Las Vegas. Crawford explained that Topuria came over, shook his hand, and casually asked how he was doing. Crawford said at the time he did not even know who the guy was.
Stated, I don't know who he is. Ilia's mad. It works every time, and Ilia went crazy. Ilia's just, you don't know who I was. I met you at this. When Ilia responds with truth, when he brings the receipts and the facts, that's what you do when you're...
Crawford said he later saw him online, claiming he would beat him in the first round and making other bold statements. He said that moment would have been the right time to value in fighting El Matador, and said it has nothing to do with the Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Conor McGregor fight from 2017. He questioned how Conor McGregor and said people should not even compare them. He repeated that he does not know this person and said the man has never fought him or proven anything to him. He also added that he watches a lot of MMA and still does not see the appeal of the matchup.
None of it. He's like, who the f*** is that guy? He's not on my level. He's not on Conor McGregor's level. What the hell is going on? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Jake Paul's fighting Gervonta Davis. If that can happen, or him fighting Mike Tyson, if there's a world that we live in where that can go down and get watched by millions of people on Netflix.
He said maybe the guy can fight well, but admitted he was not sure because he has never actually watched him fight. He pointed out that he has seen Conor McGregor compete many times and made it clear they should not be spoken about on the same level. The UFC fighter did not take long to respond and fired back with a strong prediction about how a fight between them would end in the ring. He replied by saying that Crawford claims to like MMA, but does not even know who he is, which he found strange. Topuria said on X that when they first met Crawford, wished him luck for his fight that week. He added that Crawford memory is fading and soon his chin will too. Topuria finished by saying he was speaking for the entire MMA community and claimed that when someone steps in with a pound-for-pound fighter, they are facing a real fight.
Was always willing to risk it. Ilya, I believe, is willing to risk it. Ilya versus Crawford. Am I wasting my time talking to you guys about that? Maybe not. There's not yet something here, but there's not nothing here.
Recently, fellow boxer Shocker Stevenson spoke out and suggested that Terence Crawford might be the first boxer able to beat an MMA fighter at their own game. During his conversation with Ariel Helwani, Stevenson made some points that sparked a lot of discussion. He expressed confidence that Crawford would come out on top against Topuria in the octagon. Stevenson explained that Crawford has been involved in wrestling since he was a child in Nebraska and believes this background gives him the grappling skills needed to compete in mixed martial arts.
Got to leave Bud alone. I think Bud Crawford is just different. In a boxing ring with him, bro, you're not gonna last more than one round. I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the UFC and beat the out of some guys too, because he got a great wrestling.
That guy seems strange to me. Topuria is not as big as people think. I have no doubt Crawford could handle it. It wouldn't be surprising if they fought under MMA rules and Crawford uses wrestling to choke or control him. Stevenson's bold claim that Crawford could dominate Topuria might sound like typical fighter talk, but it shows he truly believes in Crawford's athleticism and wrestling skills and thinks they would give him an advantage in the cage.
Obviously, it was a great show today. I was curious about your entrance, how you came to choose that song in particular to walk out to.
Well, you know, it was part of my outfit. The outfit was inspired by the movie Desperado. As you see, I had the guitar and everything, and my great childhood friend, Rosendo Robles, he was the one that, you know, carried the song out.
Terence Crawford had the goddamn audacity to walk out to Ilia Topuria's walkout song. I mean, what on earth is going on? How dare he? That is Ilia Topuria's song, okay? Ilia Topuria took exception to this in a very big way, and now these two are going back and forth. They are talking shit, and Crawford ain't having.
Former two-division UFC champion Daniel Cormier does not think a fight like that is likely, and he has solid reasons. Cormier said Topuria is not yet as big of a star as McGregor. He added that fighters like Mayweather and Tyson Fury could handle McGregor and Ngannou, which would make those fights look competitive. Cormier also doesn't believe Crawford would behave the same way in the ring. He called Conor's long build-up to fight Floyd Mayweather one of the most surprising moments he has seen in combat sports. On the Good Guy and Bad Guy show, he said that as long as Francis and Ngannou face Tyson Fury, it remains one of the most shocking events he has witnessed in fighting.
I feel to hear that from someone like him.
I just was like, well, you know, it's his personal opinion. He was in the ring with both of us, so a lot of people, you know, they can say what they want, but he's actually been in the ring with both of us. You know, one where he felt like he was at the best.
Joshua beat Tyson Fury in the way I expected. But I also believe that Floyd Mayweather and Tyson Fury can control a fight enough to keep someone in there long enough to make it look competitive and believable. Ilia wants to be like McGregor, but to succeed he needs fame, which he does not have yet. Cormier thinks Crawford would benefit more from fighting Topuria, and he believes that may be what stops the fight from happening. Still, for Terence Crawford, who has spent his career chasing big opportunities, a matchup with Ilia Topuria could be the next major challenge.
SeaWorld, Ilia Topuria says that if you guys ever boxed, he would knock you out basically the first punch.
That dude drunk, you know. Hey, you know, a lot of MMA guys, they drink a lot, so he must have been on that alcohol that day.
Also said that if Terence Crawford doesn't fight Ilia Topuria, someone he and knows Topuria. He had the chance to set up the fight, but chose not to. Michael Casa told MMAJunkie.com that he isn't a fan of the idea of this dream matchup, even though Topuria believes he could beat the new undisputed super middleweight champion in a boxing ring. Without a doubt, Casa said it's not likely.
I'm betting my money on anybody, and nobody got the money. I'm betting on that guy.
You betting on that guy?
He also said that if Terence Crawford doesn't fight Ilia Topuria, someone else will, and that person could bring him more new fans. The situation is more complicated than usual, especially since Bud follows the UFC and knows Topuria. He had the chance to set up the fight, but chose not to. Michael Casa told MMAJunkie.com that he isn't a fan of the idea of this dream matchup, even though Topuria believes he could beat the new undisputed super middleweight champion in a boxing ring. Without a doubt, Casa said it's not likely.
Big star, UFC, Ilia Topuria, and fight with the #1 boxer right now. If you can do that, why not do that?
We did see Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua.
And you think Topuria can fight with him?
I don't. You asked me straight up, I do not think so, because Crawford is not going to enter a fight.
UFC stars facing the top boxer in the world. If you can do that, why wouldn't you? We've seen Francis face Anthony Joshua, but do you think Topuria could fight Crawford? I don't. Straight up, I don't think so, because Crawford isn't the type to just step in for a show fight. He knows how to take punches, handle jabs, entertain fans, and build his brand, but when it comes to fighting, he's serious and really skilled. Floyd Mayweather was the same way. Topuria is not on Conor McGregor's level. That was something special about Conor. He had a sharp tongue and could get attention from all kinds of fans, which helped make the fight happen. Topuria may be fun, but he doesn't have that same edge to draw everyone in. Dana White, UFC CEO, has made it clear he doesn't want his fighters doing crossover shows. In 2017, he made an exception to set up Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, but since then he hasn't changed his mind, even though he's been studying boxing marketing more closely.
He goes out and tweets, if I were to face Terence Crawford in boxing, I would put him to sleep. Now, this was after Terence Crawford went on the Nelk Boys podcast. Kyle said, who do you think the best boxer in the UFC is? Have you seen Ilia? He goes, oh, no, it's easily Cody Garbrandt.
Have you seen Topuria? Have you seen his fights?
A lot of MMA, but I've never actually seen this guy fight. He says it's not worth his time, and he's right about that. Still, Ilia is currently ahead because he knows how to get people talking about him. Every time Terence Crawford mentions Ilia, it only gives him more attention. And that leaves us asking, what does that really lead to?
Do you have interest in fighting him?
For what?
Money.
What money would I get out of fighting him? Tell me how much I'm gonna get out of fighting him.
Floyd made a lot, obviously, to fight Conor.
He's not nowhere near on the level of Conor McGregor. Let's be real. Stop it. Don't ever compare him to Conor. Conor was...
Former UFC champion and Hall of Famer had previously advised Terence Crawford not to face Ilia Topuria, but Crawford changed the conversation last Saturday by defeating Canelo Alvarez, the reigning super middleweight champion, by majority decision. This victory sparked rumors of a potential fight between Crawford and Topuria. Crawford made his ring entrance at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas to Antonio Banduri's El Matador, the same song Topuria uses for his UFC walks. Fans of both sports immediately noticed the connection, though the Omaha native later explained that his choice of music was meant to honor Banderas, not to disrespect Topuria.
Recently?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Cody got them hands.
Obviously, Ilia, that's probably maybe ignited a beef, and Terence Crawford is wrong. Ilia Topuria is the best boxer in the UFC. Does this eventually set up an Ilia into boxing? If Ilia...
Like, you're not going to see a wild part of the fight. Crawford was just going to be too clean, too smooth, too fast, and just keep him at distance the whole time, 36 minutes. They wouldn't even sanction a 12-round fight for Ilia Topuria. He's never fought 36 minutes.
After defeating Alvarez, Crawford seemed to have few challenges left in boxing, which has fueled talks of a potential super fight. A matchup with Topuria could be tempting, offering a big payday as Crawford's career moves towards later stages. In recent years, crossover fights like Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor and Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou have brought huge success. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping advised Crawford against taking the fight purely for the money, warning that it could put his future at risk.
Wrestling, real wrestlers on some everyday shit. Because Bud looked bigger than that guy. He got longer arms. I wouldn't be surprised come fight night if they do an MMA fight if Bud done knocked him out, sleep, or choke.
Crawford was asked about the possibility of fighting Topuria, and Bisping was very clear that it wasn't a good idea. He said the potential money, around $50 million, wasn't worth the risk. Terence Crawford has had an outstanding career, is undefeated at 37, and doesn't need to chase big money fights. Bisping even pointed out that he himself turned down a crossover fight with social media star Jake Paul after leaving the octagon because it would have damaged his reputation. He warned that a fight with Topuria could have a similar effect for Crawford. Crawford's skill as a boxer would make the fight extremely one-sided. He would be faster, cleaner, and always ahead, leaving Topuria little chance for a long match. Topuria is respected in MMA, but defeating him in a boxing or crossover fight wouldn't add much to Crawford's legacy, especially since Crawford hasn't trained enough in MMA. Setting up a fight wouldn't be hard. UFC President Dana White is already involved in boxing promotions, but might not benefit either fighter's career. On the other hand, some, like Zanin, see a similarity between Topuria and Conor McGregor. Both are willing to take big risks. Topuria is ready to fight anyone, willing to put it all on the line, which is exactly what made Conor's crossover with Mayweather so unique and successful. Many have tried to copy it, but they missed the key. Conor was willing to truly risk it.
For sure. I've seen Conor McGregor fight a lot of times. It's night and day. You know it's night and day. Don't ever try to say they on the same level. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? We're not talking about that. Tell that guy to, keep up the good work in his career.
What he had to, then cut to commercial and walk away. That kind of confidence is rare, always ready to take risks. I think Topuria has that same mindset, ready to risk everything. Collins versus Topuria. Is it even worth talking about? Not sure. That's really all there is to say. Whenever new boxing stories, moments, or events happen, we post them on our YouTube channel. Make sure your alerts are on so you don't miss content like this. Goodbye, and see you next time.